Tigers take on the Canberra Raiders. And what a great game it shapes up to be. Canberra out of form at the moment. They've lost a couple in a row and they've hit the panic button, dropped a couple of players, and it'll be interesting to see how their forward pack shapes up this afternoon. And speaking of the forwards, the big clash between Roach and Bacco should be worth the price of admission. Well, we don't have to worry about that. We'll have the game for you very shortly when we cross to Leichhardt Oval.
Now Henjack getting on to Bacco. Where's Roach? Roach not there on that occasion. He will be later on. Still they come, the Canberra Raiders. It's really a grand final for them today. Desperation stuff as Lance takes it up. Last tackle now for Canberra. Henjack's kick. Camero was standing very deep waiting for it. Caught nicely. As Sullivan was made the tackle. Penalty's gone to Balmain. Canberra up offside. And I suspect that Sammy Bacco might have been the main offender. So Scott Gale will attempt to find touch. He's 12 metres from halfway. And that's a pretty fair kick from Gale as well. 32 metres out now from the Canberra line.
Peter Jackson in a lot of trouble, and Maurice, he's moved out onto the wing, carrying either a hip or a thigh injury, so trouble already for Canberra.
Yes, he was in doubt right through the week. For Canberra's sake, would be a tragedy if he's injured. Here's Sirinen now, 10 metres inside the Canberra half. Bearing in mind, oh, he's offside a mile. Well, I would have given a penalty there.
Had to be a penalty. It really did have to be a penalty.
He was just standing offside.
Yes, the State Bank replay shows that pass has gone a couple of metres forward from Elias. He must have been disorientated. That's the only explanation you could put on it like that, because it was so obvious.
Bear in mind that Canberra have never ever beaten Balmain in premiership football. So there's plenty of pressure in more ways than one for the Canberra side today. Now Henjack is a dummy half. Be back the blind side. Belcher up into the back line. Got out of Moss's tackle. Held now by Sirinen and also Elias. Here's Lance. He beat one. He's got support too. Good pass. He got away to Clyde. Still going. This young fellow with a huge rap from the Canberra. Back for Camero. All those Balmain players are offside. Plenty of time for Belcher or Ferguson to pick it up. Belcher it is. Now Ferguson. Moss over the top brought him down. 10 metres short of halfway. Waters will play it. Now Lazarus.
Lazarus showed a good little step off the left foot there too.
He did. He beat Sirinen quite well. Henjack getting it on to Jackson. Tends to recover Jackson. Walters will play it. Back for Jackson again. Plenty of work for him. The kick will find touch. Great little kick from Jackson.
Yes, it's a classy little kick. It's he didn't have a whole lot of distance to work with there, but he's made a real good gain, taking them up to within about 10 metres from the Balmain line.
So all the early pressure coming against Balmain as Neil comes up with the scrum win. Moss. Sullivan pretty late coming over the top there. Wayne Pearce. Well, he was looking for support. They were all standing flat. Roach will get to his feet, still inside the quarter line. Edmed. And Elias with the kick. That should beat Gary Belcher. It's a fine kick from Ben Elias. Great kick from the little hooker.
Yes, Benny Elias showing there one of the many reasons why a lot of people plumped for him for the Australian team. He had so much versatility. He's got good kicking game, can drop kick a goal. He's your complete all-rounder.
So Balmain with the feed here, and Scotty Gale standing at 5'8". So he and Conlon shifting around in that centre and 5'8" role. Harris to tap it and go ahead. did have to come.
Yes, on the State Bank replay, it was Grant Ellis there that came round in the offside position. It was a penalty that had to be given, but it's given Conlon a fairly easy kick from directly in front, only about 35 metres out. And a little breeze there, Billy Anderson. Can you tell us about the breeze?
Well, there's not a great deal, Rex. It's coming from the southwest, really. It's probably slightly in favour of Canberra coming from the grandstand side. But, you know, there's not much in it, and I don't think one side will get a tremendous advantage.
Just a slight movement in the flags there above the posts. Ross Conlon, 41 goals from 62 attempts. Final look at the posts. Strikes it very, very well. Great goal for Conlon and a big confidence booster. Balmain hit the lead, 2-0 over Canberra. Belcher on the restart for Canberra. The leading point scorers in the competition, the Raiders, 361 points they've scored. Balmain 130 behind, just the 231 points.
Yes, well, a major turn-up, I suspect, in the earlier games, because Canberra won both. Under 21s, Canberra 19, Balmain 12. And reserve grade, Canberra 9, Balmain 8. So there it was.
Big day out for the Raiders so far. Zedmed's brought down. Elias again looking for the sideline. And again, it's going to be perfect from little Benny Elias.
Well, luck's a fortune there, because Benny Elias really sliced that one off the side of his foot, but it just lobbed about 1.5 yards inside the line and went over for a good touch finder.
Canberra to come up with a strong feed. And possession, O'Sullivan. Couldn't beat Conlon as the sun starts to come out again here at Leichhardt Oval. The shadow of the grandstand. Bill, I can see Canberra really taking the Tigers on out wide. Well, this will bring a penalty for this high tackle from Roach. Eddie Ward says it was far too high for his liking.
Yeah, Steve Roach is the man, and he does come in high, there's no question about it. It was around the neck. That'll bring a caution at this stage. Later on, another one like that might give him some time in the bin.
Billy, as I was saying, looking to play this game out wide, Canberra.
Graham, the critical part of the football field for Canberra today is going to be that 10 yards out near the sideline. That's where they've got to try and stretch the ball. Balmain could be caught short there. Conversely, for Balmain, they'll be taking this game straight up through the middle of the rucks against the Raiders.
Well, the pass goes astray for Canberra, and Sullivan had to go back for it. Good defence from Benny Elias. And again, just the ankle tap. Dean Lance already found for himself a couple of holes in this match. Strong run. Well, they've gone without the ball. Grant Ellis it was who just coughed that up for no reason. And really does take the pressure off for Balmain.
Yeah, they can't afford that sort of mistake, can they? As Canberra makes some good ground, but Canberra really putting themselves under pressure with some sloppy handling. Here's Edmed. 15 short of halfway. Wires, pass has been knocked down and knocked on. Well, touched again by Canberra, picked up by Balmain, so the tackle count restarts. Elias, no time to get the pass away. Here's Roach, and then Conlon. Clyde was around Conlon's ankles. Penalty's gone to the Tigers. There's 2 points in it. The Tigers lead 2-0. Ross Conlon's penalty goal. And Gale puts a shocker of a kick for touch. In fact, he's lost ground with it. Yes, that was a horror.
The breeze can't be that strong unless Billy Anderson's telling fibs down there on the sideline.
Yeah, Canberra is a player who kicks a lot for the reserve grade side. I'm surprised that he's not taken those light kicks. Now Maguire plays it just inside the Canberra half, and Siren gets a pass that looked a little forward. And still going, Siren. In fact, up to the corner line, he's got Belcher there. Belcher's got him, and Elias is backing up well. 10 metres out, bending on his hands and knees. Got it back to Neil. Back with Siren. Siren charges at the line. They pull him down. 3 metres out from the Canberra line. Pressure now for the Raiders as Balmain right away. Here's Scott Gale. Looking to offload. Got it back for Neil. Neil keeps it live to Edmed. And then to Camro. And then to Maguire, who's gone without it. Parrish picks it up. Last tackle signal now for the Tigers. Neil puts the high kick in the air. Bouncing in whose favour? Well, nobody. Canberra make a mess of it trying to pick it up, and referee Ward plays the knock on.
Well, that was a dreadful passage of play. There was just a complete mishmash of players from both sides making errors there. Nobody seemed to want the bomb when it went up in the air. Nobody attempted to catch it.
Pressure for the Raiders as the scrum goes with the feed, and Neil has it up the quarter line. Desperation tackle from Lance, just chopped him down. Now here's Conlon, the dummy half, and here's Scott Gale. Gale's got support too with Pearce, but he's caught 10 metres out from the Canberra line, lost the ball. Penalty's gone to the Tigers though. Eddie Ward ruling that they pulled it out of his arms after being called to play it.
Yeah, well, the State Bank replay shows clearly that there was a dispossession there of Wayne Pearce by a Canberra player, and it was after the tackle had been called, so the penalty had to go. Eddie Ward quick to move in.
Ross Conlon bringing the ball back to give him a better angle to work with. He already has been successful with his only shot at goal.
Well, those flags on top of the goalpost at the southern end are barely moving. One of them just started up, the other one's lying very limp.
Conlon is about 13 metres in from the touchline. Let's watch this one. It's going to be wide. Flagged away, so Conlon can't add to the score. It remains Balmain 2 and Canberra nothing. Belcher with the restart. And a long drop kick. Gee, there's a long kick down to Camero, who's only about 12 metres from his own line by the time he stopped it. And runs into trouble as O'Sullivan brings him down 10 metres from halfway. Now Conlon. Jackson rides him into the ground. Elias out to Gale. And then on to Maguire, who got to the halfway mark and over it as he's tackled by O'Sullivan. Now Roach. Straight ahead. Backo tried to grab him, but Lance has pinched the ball, and Lance comes back with it for Canberra, just inside the Balmain territory.
On the ball now, Canberra trying to spread this ball quickly. The centres, as we mentioned, is the advantage for them this afternoon. Martin. Henjack. O'Sullivan. Clyde. Matching them in numbers so far, Balmain. Backo. The first real times that he's come charging onto the ball. Pass was far too strong there from Backo. Maguire. Benny Elias calling some runners. He dummied to Wayne Pearce. Just outside their own quarter line, Balmain. Roach. He and Siren are causing some problems for Canberra. Standing back and waiting for the big men to come to them. Straight down for Belcher. Tremendous opportunity for him now, especially if Gary Jack is forced out of the third State of Origin match with that leg infection. Sullivan comes back inside and finds some space. Just couldn't get the ball out. He had support in Paul Martin. Henjack, Jackson, Ferguson. Well and truly watched by 3 Balmain defenders there. Jackson just trying to find the sideline. Camero gets outside. Henjack and Ferguson. Clyde brings him down. Good run from the fullback. Conlon. Plenty of running, one out from both sides at the moment. Edmed. Straight up the middle. As Bill Anderson said, there's Balmain side. Roach again. Good defence from Dean Lance. He led the way for them last week against Manly. Maguire. Last tackle for Balmain now. Bolsher was standing well downfield and right on the sideline, expecting that kick from Elias. A lot of involvement, Bill, from Steve Roach so far in the game.
He's playing better than Sam Backo at the moment, Graham, purely by virtue of the fact that he's done more. He's made more tackles and he's taken the ball up more often, and that is a front rower's priority job.
Kevin Walters wrapped up by Parrish. Penalty comes for the struggle in the play of the ball, though.
Yes, young man Parrish got carried away there, had his opponent by the collar and pulled him down, so the penalty had to go. It was quite spectacular.
Jackson. Fine touch. About 32 metres out, Canberra. No tries in the game so far. Lazarus. Clyde on the short line side. Have the field really open up to them now, Canberra, if they're going to swing it wide and maybe bring Belcher into the back line. They do that, and they have the overlap. Martin, Ferguson's gone infield looking for the ball. He was covered by Michael Neal. Good move from Canberra. Ferguson. Now they've really got some momentum up. Jackson's in the dummy half position. Ellis. Last tackle. They still have plenty of numbers over on the right if they can shift the ball. The kick into the in-goal area might be too deep. It is from O'Sullivan, so a wasted opportunity for Canberra.
Yes, the kick was too hard. There was only the one chaser, Henjack, and he was really not in a position to get close to it. That was the only one there, Henjack.
It remains that they do certainly have the advantage when they shift the ball in the back line, Canberra. They're getting outside their men. And Benny Elias now to restart for the Tigers. Edmed. Crack down on it. This time it's Kevin Walters himself that gives away the penalty.
Yes, Kevin Walters on the state bank replay there, pushing him down, Edmed down, and those sort of tactics are very, very stupid. Very stupid at this stage.
Let's see what Scotty Gale can do with this kick for touch. Certainly a big improvement on his previous effort. Finds touch right on the halfway mark. Elias takes the tap. Here's Neal, and then Conlon. He takes the tackle. And Maguire. Inside Canberra's half. Edmed. Canberra player waiting for that tackle and didn't move. Now here's Roach. And slipping it nicely back for Elias. And then for Gale. Dean Lance is that player who went in for the tackle and has not moved. Maguire has it. 32 metres out. Conlon, tackle signal. Conlon. Inside to Sirenin, broke free of one. A one-handed pass, which is back for Pearce. Pearce a little kick ahead, and can he regather? It's still loose and picked up by Canberra, though. That was Martin who fell on it. Well, they're very worried about Dean Lance. He's in big trouble down there. Canberra bring it out via Lazarus. Now here's Bacco. Caught by Sirinen.
Well, the trainers should be trying to get the attention of the touch judges here to stop play.
What's the state of play with Lance, Bill?
Ashley Gilbert's already on the field, Ian, and wearing number 23, but there are big problems here with Lance. They've called for the stretcher.
Well, now they've halted play. And here it is, the incident. This is how it happened.
Well, he comes in on the State Bank replay to effect a tackle and seemed to bounce off the hip there of Edmund, got him, the left hip. There was nothing illegal about it, and he's gone down like a poleaxe steer. And I've no doubt he'll be stretchered off the field and certainly be sent. It'll be a head bin. Well, there it was. It was just a straight-out collision. There was no dirty play in it or anything of that description. It was just one of those things that can happen on a football field. But he hasn't moved. He's a very courageous player too, the fellow we're talking about, Dean Lance. He's become a very, very good defender and a good leader of the Canberra side. It'll be a tragedy should they not be able to, should he not be able to continue.
Yes, he's been freely tipped to retire at the end of this season, and they'll sorely miss him because, as you say, Rex, he has been a great inspiration to the Raiders.
Yes, he's grown in stature since he left Newtown Club. Become a good regular first grader. Well, that's a sad sight, as we see, and a good round of applause, I'm happy to say, comes from the large grandstand crowd here of mainly Balmain people. They give him the applause that he deserves. But they've got a neck brace on him at the moment. That might be indicative of some spinal disorder. We shall see.
Okay, back to the football game, and it's Canberra who's fielded that kick. He was well caught by O'Sullivan. Michael Moss is dummy half. Henjack's got him, and so is O'Sullivan. Here's Neil. And Wayne Pearce. There's Gilbert who made that tackle. Ed Med runs away. The scoreline of Balmain 2 and Canberra nothing in a very tight encounter here at the Leichhardt Oval. Big blocker, Steve Roach, takes it up with great enthusiasm today. Last tackle signal for the Tigers. Neil sends Belcher across field and one bounce and over the touchline. That's a fine kick from Neil.
Yes, that's a gain of just under 50 metres there to Neil. It was a beautifully judged kick.
So this scrum is down about 9 metres, and it must have been touched by a Canberra player because Balmain have the feed. So this is real pressure now for Canberra. He's gone with the feed, and here's Gale standing at 5'8" again and getting a pass away to Parrish. Parrish got to about 11 metres out, maybe 10 metres out before he's pulled down. That's the 10-metre line you see there. Here come the Tigers as Neil has it, takes the tackle. Camero moves to dummy half. Here's Scott Gale, and then Conlon. Conlon comes back inside and is upended for his trouble. Bacco there to greet him. Not a pretty sight. Pearce went without it.
Well, Benny Elias knocked on a dummy half then. I thought the man that was playing the ball moved back on top of him a little bit. No, just kept his foot on the fight. That was it.
Jack has the feed for Canberra. He's knocked it behind him. Now he knocked it on, according to the referee. So both sides having trouble.
Yes, the State Bank replay shows the sad side of Henjack knocking on at the base of the scrum, giving Balmain the feed only about 10 metres out from the Canberra line.
It's gone with the feed. Pearce has picked it up at the scrum base. He's put down pretty heavily, 15 metres out from the Canberra line. Here's Conlon. Here comes Roach. Roach barging at the line. Big block, getting at the ball now. No, he can't, but he's about an inch short. Long ball from Neil, and then Pearce. go down.
Yes, moments there that Gale thought he could score. He sighted the opening, went through. State Bank replay picks him up, just losing the ball there about 2 metres from the line. The scrum will go down, Canberra feed.
I'm pleased to say the report from the dressing room is not that bad for Dean Lance. He was knocked out. We'll wait to see whether he can come back onto the field.
Canberra's certainly going to miss his defence, especially against a side like Balmain, right up the middle of the rucks, relying so heavily on their forwards. Time will tell. Gilbert now he's lost it. So handling errors, are they going to pay this time, Canberra, inside their own territory?
State Bank replay. Ashley Gilbert in possession, has the ball stripped from him while the tackle was still in progress. You'll note the difference. Not after the referee had called tackle.
Balmain haven't made them pay yet. Another opportunity with 6 tackles. Camro just outside the quarter line. Crowd trying to get Balmain started here, trying to support them.
Well, they're standing in a bunch there on the open side of the ruck at the moment. They're not in any formation.
Those handling errors, as you saw, even at 5 apiece. Elias, Roach, quick ball back in for Serenan, right under the posts. Too big and too strong. Great combination from Roach and Serenan. That's got the grandstand started.
Yes, the State Bank replay will show Elias running from dummy half, gets it to Roach, and Roach turns it back on the inside now. I'd just like to see it again to see whether there was any suggestion of forward pass in that. We're watching there. The pass comes, well, it was a line ball pass. It wasn't obviously forward, but Serenan bursts over with all the strength and power of at his command. There's Roach, the quick ball back on the inside. Now, the try was really made by Roach, reversing the direction of play. Watch Roach give the pass very, very quickly. He barely runs with it, just catches it and gives it straight back inside to Serenan. Coming on the burst, that is on the burst running, that is. And he went directly underneath the post, and they're going to get an easy conversion now with Conlon taking the opportunity.
From right in front. Great kick, so Conlon races Balmain to an 8-0 lead over Canberra. Again with the kick-off, so they've got no one else but themselves to blame, Canberra, after dropping the ball on 2 occasions inside their own territory. Balmain did finally make them pay in a big way. Parrish. Again, Serenan charging onto the ball. Kick. A good 1-2 away from Gary Belcher, so their kicking game has been one of the real highlights for them in this first half, Balmain.
Yes, they've used the options very well. They've got the Elias of option or the option of Elias or Gale, and using them at different times. They're making ground every time they kick. It's very, very good display.
Well, there's Dean Lance in the tunnel after a stint in the head bin. Bill, is there any word on Lance?
He's got 3 minutes to go, Graham, before his head bin time expires. He looks very wobbly on his feet to me, and they're trying to make a decision whether they will put him back on or not. Obviously, he wants to go back on, but it's whether that's in his best interest or not.
I don't think they're going to stop him. He looked pretty keen there to get out there. And Jack. O'Sullivan. Jackson quickly off for Gilbert. Now for Walters, he has Ferguson. Johnny Ferguson will come down to Canberra. He has support on the inside. He didn't need it. Well, very luckily he didn't need it, and he's going to bring that around for a great Canberra try. He just did it with sheer confidence in his own pace. He did, Camro.
Well, really, I believe that Camro should be flogged for missing that tackle. He had him nailed to rights against the sideline, and there was virtually no attempt. Well, he dived. Yes, we'll concede that he dived, but that's a tackle that should be pulled off by a first-grade fullback on any occasion. Here's Ferguson going magnificently at his best. He just takes him on and doesn't even slacken in speed. It's a beautiful try. He did run a bit of a risk trying to go around. He finished up lying over the dead ball line, but he got the ball down in the in-goal area. Here's the move now. The little run around there. Ashley Gilbert fires a pass out, goes to Walters. Walters comes in and then gives the pass out to Ferguson. Perfectly delivered. Now, this bloke is motoring now. He's one of the fastest men going around. He did slow down fractionally there, but Cameroon made a mealy-mouthed attempt to make the tackle, and that's one he'll remember, or not want to remember, but will remember for many, many years.
Johnny Ferguson, 16 tries in 1988, the leading try scorer of the Winfield Cup. And the contentious age that everyone talks about, 33.
Well, I contend he's older than that, I really do. I think he's 39 or 40.
Timmy Sheen's down there on the sideline talking to Chris Houghton.
But it doesn't really matter how old Ferguson is. He's playing like a youngster. Beautiful football.
Belcher. So they've come back well, Canberra. Balmain lead, 8 points to 6.
Back on the field for the Raiders after that very heavy knock. And Conlon to restart after a sizzling Johnny Ferguson try. Now, what sort of inspiration will that try be for Canberra as Paul Martin, running very strongly, brings it back past the quarter line. Just 10 metres short of halfway. O'Sullivan, Jackson cutting out Belcher. Well, Belcher was in the back line there, Bill, but he can't find the breaks.
Ian, I think he's very important to Canberra's chances today. He's a player that can create, whether it be from a kick or just coming from an unmarked position into the back line. He can create a 2-on-1 situation. He beats the first man and then links with his winger. I think if he gets involved today, they can worry Balmain out wide. Tiger's doing it well at the moment.
A little run around as Robinson slips as the tacklers get to him. There's Parrish. Clyde in there to make the tackle. And the penalty's been given to Canberra. Parrish either didn't hear the call to play the ball or just ignored it.
Yes, well, there's that's probably at the point he was told to play it, and they all let go at that stage or fell off him, and he got to his feet and charged off. Now, the referee has obviously called held, so that is incumbent upon the man that's carrying the ball to play it, even if he's not held.
It could be a costly error from Parrish, because this gives Belcher the opportunity to put 2 more points on the board, and he's right in front. And he's back about 33, 34 metres. 1 from 1 for Belcher.
I was just thinking about Matt Parrish there a moment ago, Ian. He's not playing all that spectacularly today, but he seldom makes mistakes, and he looks as though he's been playing rugby league all his life.
Yes, very much at home there.
He's a former rugby union man. He's really fitted in well.
Sirinen, who's been down with a knee or ankle problem. Belcher, the leading point scorer in the competition. And makes no mistake with this one. Great kick from Belcher. And we've got a football game that's all square. 8-all, Balmain and Canberra. Conlon to restart things again for the Tigers. And Lance was able to pick it up, but had his foot over the touchline.
Yes, that was a great misfortune for Lance. He actually backed over the line and he caught the ball while he still had his heel on the line.
So immediately Canberra under pressure as this scrum is fed by Neil, and it's gone with the scrum feed. And here's Gale getting it on to Conlon. Conlon is caught just inside the quarter. Is Gale. Now Parrish. Lance has got him. And so has Walters. Right on the quarter line now, the Tigers. Wayne Pearce running with great enthusiasm and very nearly straight through. Good run from Junior. Here come the Tigers. Here's Roach. Roach has already laid on one try for Sirenen. This time it's gone back. And a swinging arm, I thought, went in the tackle there.
Sam Backo.
Here's Maguire. Backo again rides him into the ground. Last tackle signal for Balmain. Elias is a dummy half. Blindside kick, which is fielded by Belcher.
So that was the defusing of the bomb. Elias very coolly did a full pivot at dummy half and kicked the ball into the end goal, but Belcher read it well. Here's Henjak.
Quick tap from Canberra. Now it's Martin. He has support too. So Sullivan straight across field looking for support.
Pass went forward.
Well, if they're going to come back with a pass that went forward. So they really did catch Balmain napping there and very slow to get back into position from the tap restart.
So I thought there was an element of panic in that end of that move there. They did very well. They caught Balmain really at 6s and 7s with a tap and the run upfield. O'Sullivan was well placed. He'd have done much better to take the tackle if he wasn't going to be able to continue the play. They probably would have scored from an ensuing play the ball. But he tried to get a pass away. It went forward.
Quick chat from Eddie Ward and the touch judge to Steve Roach. Not an unusual sight on a Sunday afternoon for Big Roachy. Scott Gale. More penalties for players being held down in the play of the ball. This time against Ellis. Geez, there's been 3 or 4 penalties so far in this first half against that. Make that 5. I've just been told by our statistician. There's the scrums. 9-5 to Balmain. The penalties 2-1. 6-3. Ross Conlon. Been bleeding pretty freely from either the nose or mouth right throughout this first half. Maguire. 2 halfway. A few minutes away from the half-time break. Sirenen again. This time he's wrapped up by Lazarus. Takes exception to the tackle as well as Sirenen. Roach. Good pass out for Pearce. Also to Canberra. Here's a great opportunity. Clint Robertson. Excellent football from Balmain. Great short passing in the forwards from Pearce and Roach. And finished off beautifully by Clint Robertson.
Sweeter sight you'll never see if you're a Balmain supporter. I'm sitting next to one. But there's Wayne Pearce after receiving the pass from Roach. Gets the pass away nicely to Canberra. On to Robinson. Robinson shows a clean pair of heels to take Martin on in a dead set sprint. A dead set race that they had there. Here's Roach unloading to Pearce. Pearce goes through the tackle, offloads nicely to Canberra, the fullback who's come in. He gives it out to Robinson. Now there's a straight out sprint. And Robinson should be handicapped by carrying the ball, but he's not. He doesn't make any impression on the Martin, and it's a very, very good and well-worked try by the Balmain forwards who've given the backs the opportunity to run into space. And that's a good one. Good one to Robinson. Yes, indeed. The Balmain Tigers hit back with a vengeance.
Having a great year, Clint Robinson. One that got away from the Canterbury ranks, I believe, a local junior.
He's pretty old, though. He hasn't got much time left, has he?
Turns 19 on Tuesday. Dear, dear. It's not right, is it?
No. I don't think anyone's 19 years of age anymore.
More cautions from Eddie Ward for Lazarus and also Sirenen. Conlon with this kick from right out on touch. 2 from 3. Walters struck it very, very well. The crowd loves it. Super goal from Ross Conlon. Balmain 14, Canberra 8. Canberra will only just have time to restart play, only seconds away from the half-time break. The deep kick from Belcher, down for Moss. Met solidly by Clyde. So an important advantage being gained by Balmain just before the break, that try. They were the better side. And they're going to go to the half-time break with that lead intact, 14 points to 8.
Well, I can't imagine what Henjak was thinking about then. He just collected the ball there and it's gone very nearly over the touch and goal, the dead ball line on the full, when a little gentle tap was all that was required. So that's a massive let-off for the Balmain side.
Ed Med taking it up, and I guess all Tiger supporters will be pleased to see their side in front, and particularly the lady who's with Bill Anderson.
Yes, and what a great lady she is. Dawny, first, congratulations on your award from the Sport Australia people. I know that was a great pleasure to you.
Yes, it certainly was. It was probably the greatest reward I've ever had in my life.
Dawn, it would have capped a great week for you if the Tigers could get up today.
Gosh, I hope they do. They've got a hard team to play against. I mean, they've got fast wingers on both sides, but I think the way they played just before half-time, if they keep that up the second half, they should go very well.
Well, I'll let you get back and watch the rest of the action.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks a lot.
Dawn Fraser, MP now, isn't it? Good on you, Dawn. Now, this ball bouncing everywhere. It's Ferguson who'll get to it. And he's just 10 short of halfway. He stepped around Neil nicely. Still going, Ferguson. Up into Balmain territory. Good run from Chica. They shall not weary him.
That's a great run.
Now, here come the Raiders. Can they be inspired by that run? Waller's got it away to Belcher. Belcher's in the clear. He'll score. Belcher is in the score for the Raiders.
We'll put that one down to Ferguson. He cut the Balmain side open from his own side of halfway in a 35-metre sprint. We won't see that part of it, but we'll see the... here it is. This is right from the word go. This is a great run. He's just stripped them there and really sucked so many defenders to him. Look, there's about 5 or 6 all around. They've had to come in tight to try to put him to ground. He gets to his feet and plays it. The ball goes to Walters. Out there to number 17, Kevin Walters, the brother. The pass just evaded being knocked down, and Belcher's the recipient of it, and he goes in and scores a very good try from about a 20-metre sprint. So that was great stuff. Really first-class football. They're showing the ball on the inside as well as the out. That pass just got in front of the Balmain defender that was coming up. I think it was Matt Parrish. Belcher was the man that was relied on for the sprint. He got there with Benny Elias hanging grimly to the back of his jersey. But that's a try very close to the posts.
Gary Belcher, who's now scored 5 tries this season, has this conversion attempt.
Dawn Fraser will be kicking herself. She just finished talking about the speed and out by for Canberra.
Okay, Belcher to convert his own try, or at least try to. And he hit it pretty shakily off the side of the boot. Was never going to make it. So Balmain now have a 2-point lead, 14-12 over the Raiders.
To start the second half, and Balmain caught napping. Deep kick off from Conlon down for Jackson. Quickly offloaded to Martin. Great defence from Wayne Pearce though. Ellis up the middle. So a few signs of Balmain defences aren't in order to start this second half. O'Sullivan. Belcher again, the numbers out wide. The pass went astray from Belcher. It wasn't a good one. A lot more enthusiasm, Bill, to start this second 40 minutes from Canberra.
Graham, I'll tell you something the Raiders are doing a lot quicker, and that's their play the balls. They were pretty laborious in that first half, but they've turned that around, and that means, of course, they've got Balmain defence on the back pedal. Let's see if they can keep it going.
And Canberra will try and turn it around for Balmain. Plenty of defenders down there. Walters, Robinson. slow to come back, the forwards. 3 tackles worked away through the backs. Now they find Pearce, who slipped as he went into that tackle from Ellis. Back for Canberra. Looking for touch. Their kicking game in the first half was absolutely superb, Balmain. Time and time again they found touch. Confidently back inside for Ferguson. Beats Canberra. Beats Edmed. Beats Elias. Just can't get away from Siren, and another super run. They love Johnny Ferguson, the Canberra fans. Really does bring them to their feet. Jackson. Well, they're all going far too high, Balmain. Siren again was called on for a desperate tackle. He'll get penalised. He had to be penalised. Jackson was just getting to his feet to play the ball, and he tackled him again.
Well, Jackson got up with quite a smile on his face after that. He realised that he'd won a penalty, and it's going to give the Canberra side the opportunity to level the scores here. Surinam was the man guilty in the Balmain side, but that, again, that magnificent run from Johnny Ferguson there to really set up this penalty. He's having a magical game. It's just unbelievable, the pace of the man. There he is. I don't care how old he is. He says he's 33. All right, that's enough for us. We'll go with that. But the man is having an unbelievable game. He's touched the ball about 3 times and made magnificent inroads into what has been heretofore a pretty good defence.
Vital goal for Belcher, 2 from 3. He missed a few moments ago with one fairly close to the side of the post. Plenty of concentration on this one. Can tie the game up. Strikes this one better. And that's exactly what happens. Balmain and Canberra, 14 all at Leichhardt Oval. Conlon bringing the ball back for a Balmain side that defensively is starting to really open up. Very, very slow in their start of the second half. Jackson, the bounce of the ball has beaten him. How important that will be, we'll soon find out. Balmain to come up with possession from the line dropout.
Yes, the State Bank replay shows a wicked bounce by this rugby ball that'll do that to you every time. Jackson's one of the class footballers on the field out there. He was made look very, very ordinary by that. He just couldn't anticipate the way it was going to go.
So Belcher with the restart. This might be the signal for Balmain to lift their effort. Maguire. Straight into Ellis. Elias looking around, calling some shots. Roach. He was the springboard of all of their moves in the first half. Roach. Edmed. Conlon. Switches play for Neal. Parrish. Steps back inside. Wrapped up by Henjak. Pearce ran into a wall of defenders. 12 metres out. Edmed has allowed plenty of galloping room there. Last tackle. Standing very wide as Elias to the field goal. Easy, says Ben Elias. They executed the whole plan perfectly.
Yes, a well thought out, well planned field goal for Benny Elias. They worked the play towards the line. They were down the middle of the field, and there was the reward for good execution.
15-4, Balmain over Canberra.
Belcher to restart things for the Tigers. So they have their nose in front again, Balmain, but defensively in the second half, they've had all sorts of problems. In the first half, they missed 11 tackles. Already in the second half, they've missed 8. So that's the area they'll need to improve. Total, Balmain have missed 19 altogether, 11 of those in the first half. Now here they are with the ball as Wayne Pearce is able to offload to Elias. Can he get around Ferguson? Ferguson just drags him down. Loss just about on the corner line. Back for Camero. His kick is down for Martin. Martin can't get away from Conlon and also Parrish. Links up with Belcher, and then on to Clyde. Sirenen over the top caused a bit of damage, but Clyde plays the ball just inside the Balmain half. Here's O'Sullivan. Edmed has him around the ankles, and Roach and Parrish over the top. Henjack. Backo. Caught by Conlon and Gale. Walters. Meant for Henjack went along the ground. Henjack may well have come up with it. No, Balmain came up with it. Steve Roach, who was able to fall on the ball. Here's Gale getting it onto Pearce. Back inside for Gale. Canberra defence is good though. 10 metres inside Balmain's territory. Edmed. Henjack has him around the ankles, just short of halfway. Now Maguire. Solid hit from Lazarus, right on the halfway mark. Here's Roach. Straight up goes big blocker. Last tackle signal now. We're about 9 metres inside Canberra's territory. Here's Neil. His little kick ahead. Belcher was perfectly positioned to take it. But Neil is able to grab hold of him. And he'll play it right on the quarter line. Henjack. Across to Martin. Sirenen around the ankles. Walters. Blindside is Henjack. Turning it back inside for Jackson. Jackson breaks free of the tackle. Still going Jackson. Looks for Ferguson. That's Chigga. Chigga got to the quarter line. He's pulled down now. No support there for him. And he's just inside the quarter line as Canberra right away now, looking pretty good with the football. Backo drops his shoulder but takes the tackle. Last tackle signal for Canberra. Walters, a little kick ahead. Camro's back there to pick it up in the in-goal area. Plenty of pressure for the Tigers.
Yes, the State Bank replay shows the race for the ball, the frantic race. Camro beats them into the in-goal area and falls on it, so that'll mean a Balmain line dropout. Canberra to get the ball back, and the tension continues. 15 Balmain, 14 Canberra.
Conlon's drop kick is down for Ellis. Claps the pace on now as he got to the quarter line. Pulled down. This is Lazarus, a pass that looked forward.
Let's see if Balmain, or Canberra I should say, can take a leap out of Balmain's book and set themselves for the field goal.
Henjack and O'Sullivan and Jackson. An overhead pass away to Walters, and they're in to score the Raiders. Kevin Walters picking up that overhead pass from Jackson to put the Raiders in front.
Yes, magnificently executed. That was a Gene Miles type of pass. I've no doubt playing with Gene Miles up there in the State of Origin matches at different times might have rubbed off on him. Watch him lift his arms and just drop the ball basketball fashion into Walter's arms. He goes round to score a very easy try that set the Balmain Tigers right back on their heels. Watch it again now. Henjack, away out there it goes. Now we're into Jackson. Now watch him lift his arms now and just drop the ball into Walter's waiting, expectant arms, and over he goes and scores a splendid try. And I don't know whether the Balmain side are going to be able to come back from this. That's 18 points to 15, a kick and goal to follow.
Gee, they've got some handy centres in Canberra. This fella's only 19 and he's in there to replace Laurie Daly, who's 18. They're both great players.
Yes, indeed. Well done about the talent that they've got at their disposal.
Now Belcher only missed the one goal. He's been successful with 3 out of 4. And this one looks pretty good to me, and so does the touch judges agree. So Canberra further in front, 20 points to 15.
At half-time, Balmain were doing it well. Now they find themselves 5 points down and in all sorts of trouble whenever Canberra spins the ball wide. Dean Lance loses the ball for a moment. Back out to the quarter line. Ellis. Bill, they really haven't got that offensive line in order at all out wide, Balmain.
Graham, it was all the Tigers in the first half. I just don't know what's happened at half-time because they've come out here, Balmain, as if it was merely a matter of going through the motions. Their defence hasn't been moving up. It's missed tackles when it's got there and there's been no cover. They've committed every defensive sin you can make.
And the ball bouncing away from Canberra. Tries to get around Ferguson. Pretty tall order.
Yeah, it's a lost cause, I believe. That business is trying to run around Ferguson.
Moss. Balmain, 2 and 3 tackles gone on the forwards again, just getting back after the kick. Wayne Pearce will really have to try and whip up some enthusiasm. Here he is leading by example. Surinam looked to touch forward the pass from Elias. Pearce, quick hands for Conlon. Keeps it alive for Maguire. Moss straight into Ferguson again, though. He's lost the ball. And the penalty to Canberra after that ball was touched by Maguire in front of Moss.
Yes, the State Bank replay will show this clearly. Here's Moss wrestling with Ferguson. Drops the ball. It's touched by the Balmain player on the ground in front of him and then ricochets back. A clear case of offside.
So the green machine again will camp themselves down on the Balmain quarter line. Ferguson will take the tack restart for Henjack. O'Sullivan. Lazarus. Where's Backo? Here he comes now, right up the middle. Takes on Surinam. Still trying to manage through the tackle. Slipped it to Walters. Dummied. 5 metres out. Looking for their 4th try, Canberra. Sloppy pass out for O'Sullivan. Walters to Lance. O'Sullivan once more. Out for Jackson. Back for O'Sullivan. Belcher. It's a pressure pass. He already had a defender on him. Clyde. Gaining in confidence, Canberra now. Last tackle. O'Sullivan, all the time in the world. No pressure on him whatsoever to add the extra point.
An important field goal, and look at the time he's got at his disposal here. He just took, you know, all the time he really needed. There was no races coming through, no charges coming at him from any direction. Just stood his ground and kicked a field goal. So it's an extra point, 21 to 15.
And a converted try in it. Bill, is there problems down there with Dean Lance?
Well, he's called a runner on Graham. He's given the message to coach Tim Sheens, I can go for another 10 minutes, but I don't think I'll get past that. So they're going to get someone ready.
Well, he did well to come back after that knock he took in the first half.
He just had a knock a few minutes ago, too, down here defending.
Well, away they go again, Jackson. Back inside for Belcher. Tried to take that with one hand. Knockback, says Eddie Ward. Very lazily tried to catch that, Belcher. Lazarus. And Balmain being sent backwards once more. Well, they've come up with it. They've raked it out of the play of the ball. Pearce. And the crowd starting to roar some encouragement. Robinson. Needs someone to get something started here. Maguire. Roach was the man that did the damage in the first 40 minutes. They look for him again now. Maybe a player like Scotty Gale will have to start creating some opportunities for himself. Neil. Kicking game too, going a little bit astray. There's Martin now. Tidies this one up for Canberra.
Just inside the quarter line, Martin. This is Clyde, Bradley Clyde.
Good stepping run there from the second rower too.
It was. O'Sullivan getting it on to Ellis. The pass was meant for O'Sullivan again, but Conlon's come up with it, and the knock-on will be played. So this scrum will go down just outside the Canberra quarter.
Well, Balmain look as though they've hit the wall, don't they?
Indeed they do.
Just slowed down.
Converted try in it. And Canberra get the feed. It's gone with the feed as Belcher was up to take the first pass. Ferguson is dummy half this time. Here's Lance. The run around with Ferguson. One of the few times that Ferguson hasn't made inroads, but every time he's had the football. This is Lazarus. Made it almost to the halfway mark. Backer. Lenny Ward is keeping both sides back a long way. In fact, he's keeping them back 10 metres instead of 5. And particularly players like Backer are starting to get up ahead of steam. This is kicked through by Conlon. Well, the crowd's cheering, but referee Ward has halted play for a knock-on. Conlon doesn't like that at all. Has thrown the football away and will now suffer the indignity of being told to get it.
Well, I'm at a loss to understand that ruling because it appeared to me that there was a straight rebound, but referee Ward stood his ground. He's still back to the other side of halfway where the incident occurred, and he hasn't deviated. He's ignoring the noise of the crowd, and Conlon's just been sent to fetch the football. So if you can pick up a knock on that, write me a letter and let me know.
I wonder if Ross Conlon will plant this very firmly at the feet of Eddie Wood.
Well, he shouldn't go in for any dumb incidents here. He might get marched for 5 minutes for that sort of thing. The Referees Association have been told very strongly about dissent.
Well, drama here at Leichhardt. Conlon was away under the post for sure. The scrum has gone to Canberra. And you can bet your life this Leichhardt crowd will be right on Eddie Ward's back from here on in. This is Clyde. Vigorous tackle from Balmain, now spurred on by that decision.
They needed something like Balmain to get them started. They were really not putting the effort into either their defence nor their attack.
Well, they're putting plenty of effort into these tackles now, as Ellis felt wore the brunt of it. Here's Henjack. The crowd's spurring on Balmain as Henjack made a good break. Henjack's up to the corner line. Looks for support. Jackson's there. They're not going to catch Jackson under the post. The Raiders are in again.
Well, far from scoring a try under the post at the northern end of the ground, Balmain have now had the indignity of a try being scored against them. Walters from dummy half gives it to Henjack. Now Henjack steps off the right foot, evades the tackle there, I think, of Maguire, goes very strongly, beats an Elias, runs past Elias, beats a Neil tackle, gives it to Jackson. Jackson changed his direction slightly and gets around the fullback Cameroon and goes in and plants it down very firmly one-handed. Watch the Henjack run, it's a good one. Look at the big step from the right foot. He's evaded two. He suddenly sights daylight. He says, I'm going to have a go here. He's sprinting strongly, offloads beautifully to Jackson, who changes direction immediately and goes underneath the post. Now, this is an astonishing try. That's a turnaround of magnificent proportions for Canberra. They've just ignored having a try scored against them and come back.
Belcher from right in front makes no mistake. Oh, the Raiders are running hot. They now lead Balmain by 27 to 15. Tim Sheens, the Canberra coach, is about to send on Chris Houghton, giving him some last-minute instructions. As Conlon starts play again, Dean Lance is the player who will be replaced. He's taken a heavy knock, you'll recall, earlier in the game, and has taken another one since. This is him with the football now, in what may be one of his last runs of the match, as Edmed puts him to the ground. But how this match has turned around in the second half. Bradley Clyde taking it up. Henjack. Lazarus getting through one. Pull down 10 metres from halfway. Cameroon coming back to try and field this kick. When he does, he's only 10 metres out from his own line. Clyde's there to hold his progress with the aid of Martin. Now Robinson. Caught in a good tackle.
There's no urgency about the Balmain side at all at the moment. Absolutely no urgency. They're not doing anything fast. They're not trying to get up quickly and play the ball. They're not trying to push each other out of the way to get to the runner's position. It's a very ordinary performance this last 15 minutes.
Well, that's the man, Scotty Gale, that's got to start coming close to the ruck, searching for his ball. Somebody's got to try and turn it around. Maybe a chip over the top.
15 minutes, they can still get out of it.
But they go wide. The overlap for Moss. The kick infield. Straight to Belcher, though. Hardly had to move for it. Back they come again, Canberra. Ferguson in a dummy half. Man that will have to be watched. Conlon very quick to sight that he was going to take off.
Subscribe to the view looking at that. We'll see it again on the replay. I thought Conlon interfered with Ferguson there in the play of the ball. See if you agree with me. Here's Ferguson trying to get to his feet. There's the hand. And I think that hand that was resting rather languorously underneath the ball was responsible for Ferguson dropping it.
So Ross Conlon gets a penalty to break his way. Neil, Parrish. Of urgency for the Tigers. Sirinen left the ball behind him though. Jackson will come up for it with Canberra. Backo trying to get a lot more involved in the second half. Ellis. Tim Sheens took a gamble before the game in dropping both second rowers, Ashley Gilbert and Gary Coyne. He's been rewarded with good performances today from Ellis and Clyde. Jackson. Belcher. Henjack. Walters. Back for Belcher. Running out of space, the crowd calling for a Shepherd. Balmain really are walking though. Jackson tries to turn them round. Gets a rebound, wasn't played at. Last tackle remains now for Canberra. And O'Sullivan with the kick. Over the head of Robinson, bouncing to the sideline, stays in though. And he had to be offside, Martin.
Yes, Martin here, you'll see on the State Bank replay, you can't detect that he was offside, take my word for it. And he's been penalised for it. He was about 7 or 8 metres in front of the kicker.
So Chris Houghton has made his way onto the field. There he is in 21 after replacing Dean Lance. Conlon for Sirinen. Tired pack of Balmain forwards. Maguire. As we mentioned, tired. David Brooks on the sideline. Word from Billy Anderson is that Sirinen is the one to come off. Edmed. Oh, have a look at the missed tackles. Incredible from Balmain from a side that, well, defensively, one of the best in the league.
Well, that kick is just a kick of hope. There was no reason for that kick at all there.
Make it all too easy for Canberra. Walters, 27-15 after being down 14-8 at half-time, Canberra. Clyde.
Very impressed with this young fella too. He's made a few mistakes today and run very strongly. Got a good step.
O'Sullivan, straight up the middle. The Tigers' first loss at home this will be in 88, and the first time, as we mentioned at the top of the program, that Canberra have ever beaten Balmain in their 5 years in the league. Martin stepping well. Sirinen throws him to the ground. Last tackle for Canberra. O'Sullivan. Clyde. Ellis keeps it alive. Back for Lazarus. Goes to Jackson, all too easy to keep this alive, and he's finally put one down. Johnny Ferguson had a bit of room to move too. Oh dear.
Yes, you get a rap on a player, you're giving him all the accolades around the place. He's done nothing wrong today. Suddenly gets an opportunity to run, perhaps, and score a try. An easy pass comes to him and he puts it down. Now, Paul Sirenen's just been removed from the field for Balmain. The replacement is David Brooks. David Brooks coming on, or he's on there now.
Ross Conlon's in trouble again. Touch judge's report, you can see by the look at his face. He says, oh, not again.
Not my day, says Ross Conlon.
You know, I'm not exactly sure what this was about. I didn't, Belcher was down receiving attention in back play before, but it was obviously not that serious. It's an awful looking scrum. Craig Bellamy on the sideline. Who's he going on for, Bill?
Going on for Sam Bacco, an unusual change, a 5'8" for a front rower.
Yes, it is an unusual change. Bellamy for Bacco. Balmain get the penalty from the scrum. Two converted tries, the difference in this game. But Balmain, well, the forwards particularly are walking, really. 12 points the difference, 27 to 15. And players like Vinny Elias, who has the football now, in the first half played very well. He's been very quiet in the second half. But he's not alone.
There's almost nobody in the Balmain pack that's, and some of the backs too haven't shown a great deal of enterprise. I think it's fair to say that a lot of them, about 10 of the Balmain side, have fallen into a bit of a hole in the second half.
And here's the fresh player, David Brooks now. Almost to the quarter line. Elias links up with Roach, an inside pass for Pearce. And he's caught 12 metres from the line, so this is a good opportunity now for Balmain to put some pressure on Canberra. Scott Gale steps, still going across field, but caught though by Ellis, able to get the pass away to Conlon. Conlon showing it either way and getting a pass back for Pearce. Pearce is caught only about 5 metres from the line, and it's the last tackle now for the Tigers. Blindside goes Roach. Roach charges at the line, but the defence too good. And that'll be a turnover. Lazarus it is who will play it. And Ferguson takes the tackle only 3 metres out from the line. Clyde. Now Houghton. It's about 15 out from the line. Back to Henjack and Jackson, who's had a great second half. Classy player, but in a bit of trouble now. Last tackle for the Raiders. Back for Belcher. Camero waiting for it, takes it not cleanly, knocked back without any problems. Being chased by Walters and caught by Walters and O'Sullivan as well. Clint Robinson getting it away to Parrish. Lazarus there to take him 4 metres from halfway. Brooks back inside Canberra's territory. Neil, penalties gone to Balmain. That's 4 straight penalties now to Balmain. So that should give them plenty of momentum.
I think he penalised them for being inside the 10 yards there, not the 5 yards.
He certainly kept them apart. About 9,000 here today to watch this game, and Balmain in a perfect position to do something now. Gale stepping off the right foot but stepping into trouble this time. 15 metres out from the Canberra line. Maguire caught by Lazarus, lost the ball. We'll see Balmain again in a great position to attack. He squandered possession very early in the tackle count, and now they've got it back again. Here's Pearce. Pearce about 5 metres from the line. Wayne Pearce to play it. David Brooks, dummy half, will run from that position to try and get through the winger, Martin. Can't do it. Playing it forward, can't get his hand to it. Picked up by Belcher, but in any case, the referee's ruling a knock on. Now Sam Bacco's down in agony. There's the replay. Brooks couldn't get his hand to it. Knock on ruled. Bacco is in the in-goal area. Suspected he's got a cramp. Touch judge is in. Everybody's in. The trainer, 2 trainers are on. The touch judge. Can we get any more people on the field?
Inside the last 5 minutes. Henjack. Terrific second half from Canberra. Bellamy, who's on for Backo. Ellis. Houghton. Right through goes Chris Houghton. He'll try and link up with Ferguson. This time he takes it cleanly. Just can't beat the tackle of Neil. Back inside, though, he keeps it alive. So again, it's Canberra just far too good out wide. Jackson switches play for Belcher. The kick and chase is on. The ball's going to end up out over the touchline.
State Bank replay here. Here's Belcher going very close. The ball ricochets off the feet of Cameron, the fullback, and over the sideline eventually.
Billy, another Canberra change.
Wayne Collins in 25 for Steve Walters.
So back for Neil. Difficult pass. He got a flick pass from Robinson. Brooks. Hard to find out why Balmain have played so poorly in the second half. Their enthusiasm straight after the break was not good. Got themselves into a hole that they just couldn't get out of. Canberra.
The Canberra side have looked faster everywhere than Balmain. They look a lot more pacey in the three-quarter line. They obviously are on one wing out there, but the whole of their three-quarter line looks faster than Balmain's. They seem to have a splendid amount of time to do things, which they've taken opportunities to do.
Last tackle, they try and keep it alive. Balmain. Pearce was looking for Brooks. Just couldn't get there. He kicks it into touch. Bell, after coaching them last year, they still seem to have the problems out in the back line, Balmain.
Problems are the same, Graham. Forwards have got plenty of force, plenty of power up front, but they just haven't got probably the organisation qualities of the halves and the pace out further in the backs, and that's what they need.
Still searching as they are for a good 5'8". Walters just charged onto the pass. That's how simple it was. Handed it to him, and he's going to enjoy a try right under the black dot. Just a simple short pass it was, straight through the defence.
Yes, he's a most unlikely looking little back. I'm not doubting his football ability, but this fella comes off a Henjack pass going straight, and that's the end of the section. Nobody gets within a bull's roar of him. He's a rather squat little man. He doesn't even appear to be ordinarily well muscled. He's just a shapeless little bloke, but he runs like the wind, and he tackles as well as anyone that's in the Canberra side. He's a very, very good player. But here he is scoring his second try with hardly a hand being laid upon him from about 38 metres out. And that's astonishing against the Balmain side that usually just won't give up.
Got his chance because Laurie Darty was out injured, and he's played superbly, Kevin Walters. And the kick still to come from Belcher. A couple of easy ones in the second half, 5 from 6. And again, this one right in front. He's had a field day. Big smile on his face because of this performance from Canberra. 33 the Raiders, 15 over Balmain. Hasn't been a happy day for Ross Conlon. Final decision went against him. It was pretty much a turning point in the game when it could have led to a Balmain try under the post.
Well, I'm not surprised that Belcher's smiling. He scored 16 points today, which gives him 148 for the season. He's way out in front.
So Sullivan with a juggling act out of the in-goal area. Inside, well inside the last minute. Ferguson again. Away he goes. Manages to offload for Walters. Likewise for Belcher. This could be another try. Back for Bellamy. It is. And this will be another one. The referee's been knocked over. Don't worry about that. Right under the black dot. Bellamy can't believe it. And what a second half by the Canberra Raiders.
They've really given Balmain a bath. I don't usually come to Leichhardt Oval expecting Balmain to lose. I've seen Ferguson today take them on. Obviously a beautiful player, a wonderful player to face. He gets the pass away nicely there to Walters. Walters gets it on to Belcher. All this during the period when the Balmain side are trying desperately to reorganise. Conlon misses the tackle on Bellamy, and Bellamy sprints away and scores another try from their own side of halfway. So the score has now gone up from 27 to 37 with a kick and goal to follow. And here again is Belcher. Ferguson going through the first tackle. He'll offload a one-handed pass to Walters. Kevin Walters gets a pass away there to Belcher about this point. There it is on the outside again. Belcher goes straight and hard and looks on the inside for Bellamy. Bellamy accepts it, avoids the corner tackle. And well, it's hi-ho, here we go. He's in for another one, and the score now at the end of the game is 39 points to 15. The kick at goal was successful from Belcher. So Belcher's had 150 points in 1988. The referee is getting a bit of a workout now from the crowd who don't appreciate one particular decision he made when Conlon took a ball from a rebound. We thought it was legitimate, but he pulled him back. So a most exhilarating performance by Canberra, who really come up here today a little bit the underdogs. I think everyone thought they would go down to a side, Balmain, that has not shown the white flag to any team at this ground this year. And they've gone and shown the white flag by the extent of that scoreline, 39 to 15. Ferguson, Belcher, Kevin Walters 2, Jackson, Bellamy. There's the extent of the infamy that's been perpetrated on Balmain. Belcher's kicked 7 goals, O'Sullivan a field goal. Balmain's points have come 15 from Siren and Robinson tries, Conlon 3 goals and Elias a field goal.
Down. Now Gene Miles running very